Yeah, this Eugene. Okay, so now, yeah, I'm going to explain a bit about how to prepare an MOA. So let's move to the next slide. So yeah, the first thing that you'll always see in the MOA is this part, which is like, it's like kind of the introduction part. It's establishing which LC, or in this case, which stakeholder, and also which partner is going to be writing this agreement upon. So I assume everyone knows what an agreement means. It's basically an agreement between two parties. So that is what an MOA is, stands for Memorandum of Agreement. So yeah, that is for the party. And you can see that there's all these yellow color highlights, and I'm not sure if your FL is already downscaled with you, but basically yellow highlights means you have to change that to information that is applicable. So for example, Isaac and LC name, that means put your name. So if it's Isaac and Help, then put Isaac and Help. And university's full name is Isaac in, it's Help University and blah, blah, blah. So the same applies for the parties part. Remember to write the full name, organization address, registration number, and jargon. Some people don't know what it means, but basically it's like a more widely used term, which is not official. For example, we got McDonald's, but we say McD. So McD is a jargon. So yeah, if the organization has a preferred jargon, then you just use that jargon. So yeah, that's about it for the first part. The next slide. Next slide. Thank you. Okay, so next slide is on recitals. So recitals is also kind of describing what the two organizations do. So the first part, parties, is establishing my name, my number, my address, and all that. Then now it's about it's like a short phrase to describe what it does. So if you can see here, it's an example here already. Isaac in Malaysia is a non-political, not-for-profit organization. So the same applies for organization's official description. Usually you can take this from the website, or they usually like filters. You can find it very easily this part. So yeah, or you can just ask the partner if you really cannot find. Then for project description is, as the name describes, it's just the project description. If this FPMOA is about speak up, then you write your speak up description. And for this, you can always ask help from your project team. And yeah, that's about it for the recitals part. Then the next part in an MOA has the financial agreement. So this is where things get fun. This is where we talk more about the money and how much we're gonna get from the partner. So yeah, if you can read the clauses, it's basically saying that the partner is going to pay us this amount of financial sponsorship. Yeah, so the percentage and all this, no need to worry so much. So if we agree that they're going to pay 100% in like one time, then you just put that. Or if you have another agreement with the partner. So this one is usually PIC would be BD. So it's your job to communicate with the partner to know how is the payment gonna be? Are you gonna split the money into two terms, for example? I remember in Help we got to one partner, they paid half of it before the project start and another half after the project is closed. So if that happens, then you have to be able to write that. And usually you can ask for support from FL because they should be able to do it now. Yeah. And yeah, so this is where you just write all those kind of information about the financial stuff and also the deadline and all those things. Yes, then the next part is on the obligation of the organization. So this means what is the partner going to do for this partnership? Organization has committed to supply the following for Isaac. So you can really tell from this phrase that it means that this is what Isaac wants from the partner, and this is what partner is supposed to provide us. So you can write down how much they're gonna pay us, and then how much, like as you can see in 3.1. Where is it? Wait, I go to Zoom. Sorry, my slide just turned off. Okay, yes, I can see now. Organization has committed to supply the following for Isaac. So yes, as I said, it's a bit similar to the financial agreement, but financial agreement focuses more about the actual money itself. Then obligation is just it's a bit like a summary of, okay, so this partner is just gonna pay us this So that is one of their deliverable. Or let's say if you can see down that the XXX, that's where you can add in more stuff. For example, if you decide that, oh, okay, you have an agreement with the partner that if they pay you this, then, or maybe, for example, you're gonna go to their office and then help clean their trash or something like that. Like it's very flexible and you can write whatever that you've discussed with the partner. So yes, that's about it for the obligation. Then the next part. Oh, done already? Okay, so up until that is what BD should be very precise on. You shouldn't make any mistakes in the MOA. But the most important part is signature. So without a signature, the agreement is not an agreement anymore. So not only do you need a signature, but you must include timestamp, and there is no exception for any case. In the template, it's really clearly stated date and time. So if you don't follow this, then yeah, you cannot not follow this. So I have a lot of experience as VPFL last time where my BD or my PD at the time wouldn't get like partner's date, or maybe the partner don't want to put their IC number and stuff like that. Then the agreement is not viable anymore. So this is like the most important part to finish up. And of course, not just partner, but yourself as well. If you are the VP BD, then please write the date and time up. So this is the most important part of an MOA, and do not forget about this. Yes. Then next, I will talk a bit more about what's next after writing the MOA. So I think, okay. Yeah, so as a part of this, you should always remember to refer to what the FL said for you. So if FL has any SOPs that they gave to you, then you should follow that exactly. Since MOA is kind of plugged under FL, and they should have their own procedure that they want to follow or they want you to follow. So maybe it's just, oh, I have a folder just for templates, so don't write anything in the template, for example, or like how to deal with the template, those kind of things. So yeah, it's very important that you follow them, because if you mess it up, then it's a bit hard to go back to how things would used to be. And I'm speaking from experience also. So yeah, that's one thing that I wish all of you guys could follow. And also, very importantly, is to communicate with partners on your expectations clearly. So you cannot just go, okay, I assume that the partner will be okay with paying one time. Those kind of things is not accepted, since an agreement means it has to follow. And if, let's say, the partner doesn't follow what the agreement says, worst case scenario, we could file a lawsuit, or maybe they could file a lawsuit against us. So we don't want things to get complicated. So that's why agreements are very, very important, and you have such a big responsibility on dealing with them. So you as BD, or us as people running sales in LC, we are the face of our entity when we are talking to organizations. So we must always remember to be as responsible as we can, and also communicate them clearly on what's going to happen between the partnership. So yeah, I've already explained the third part, which is you're in charge of dealing with MOA, since you're the main communicator. But also, even if you follow all the steps, sometimes not everything goes smoothly. And the next slide. Sometimes partner will delay payment without valid reasons, or the company got internal policies and it's difficult to gauge the process time, or let's say maybe they got change of PIC, or maybe we got change of PIC where the VPBD suddenly resigned or something like that. So all these kind of things are, there are scenarios that we cannot always be able to prepare for. So what actions can we take for this kind of sudden changes from the partner side would be on credit term mobilization. So this is a new, what's it called? Like a new thing set by FL this term. We didn't have it last term, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll be explaining a bit more about what this credit term mobilization means. Next slide, please. Okay, so yeah, this is how it looks like in the financial agreement space. So if you remember, I didn't really pick it out, but if you remember just now in the screenshot, there was a or. So over this part, it's where the partner agrees to the deliverables and shall make payments in accordance with the payment schedule. So mobilization fee would be to put it in simple terms, it's like a deposit where we ensure that the partner will not run away, for example, or remember the risk or the causes that I already explained just now. So to prevent those from being a bigger situation, this is what we are going to do. Just click mobilization now. So next slide, please. So mobilization fee is an advance payment. So as I said, it's like a deposit to pay. And it's provided by any party under agreement to start deliverables that we already agreed on. So the deliverables you guys will be familiar with would be the activities or the stuff that you're going to be providing to a partner and the things that partner is going to provide to you. And if you go down to the MOA, there's a schedule B. And in this schedule, we have the mobilization fee with the work 1, work 2, and this is based on the template itself. So work 1, work 2, or the other spaces would be on the deliverables itself. So it could be whatever that you're going to provide. So like webinar, for example, or engaging with the students or something like that. So all this, you should be able to state down clearly, and also the payment on how much this kind of deliverables are accumulated to become the total FP amount or the total FP sales amount. So yes, mobilization fee should be part of it as well. Then I think we can move to the next slide. So the obligation of partners name would be as follows. And what's that?
Hello, Radin.
Sorry, I think I muted myself. Until where do you hear?
This slide.
Okay. Yeah, so you can read the screenshot itself. So this is also part of the MOA that is given to you. So the SOP that we should follow, or SPD, would be to ensure that the payment terms are communicated verbally and written. What that means is just during your meeting with the partner, as I already said in the beginning, please be as accurate as you can and be as detailed as you can about the payment terms and the conditions that you guys are going to establish. And also the things that you say should be the same as what you write down. You cannot change your words when you're writing the MOS and you think like, oh, actually, I feel like this is better, so you're just going to change it. That's not how MOA works. You have to do exactly as what you've agreed with the partner verbally. I think sometimes people, when they write MOA, I've heard of cases where the Isaacers would just kind of show the MOA and then like screen share during the meeting and then they write together. So you could do that as well, but I don't advise to, because usually when you're writing an MOA, you should be doing it with FL. But yeah, I got hear about it, but I've never seen the case before. So just remember that whatever you say should be as written down, and yeah, don't change things because it could complicate things further. And consistent one, we follow up with payment delay. What this means is just if they're not giving the payment, even after your FL has issued an invoice and you've already written down the MOA that they should pay by this day, you should consistently follow up about this. Don't just give out and say maybe they'll pay sometime later, or I'm just going to follow up next month since I'm busy this week. Like, it's not your problem anymore. This is an Isaac problem. So it's very important for you to be responsible about this partner. So yes, a lot of responsibility as BD, even though you think all you have to do is do sales. But yeah, so since you are the face of the entity, this is what you get. But yeah, so this is about it for the MOA. But sometimes you can see all these procedures or the things that you have to go through, and you think, wow, so long, I don't want to do it already. Yeah, it's like I have to do MOA, then I have to talk with partner, I have to do synergy, or so many things. So if you want a fast process time, I think you can move to the next slide. Yeah, I think the most important part would be effective synergy. So yeah, you can go back to the effective synergy that me and Natalie had delivered a few weeks ago. So yes, that's about it for my sharing or session about LNG. So now I'll be answering some questions hired with synergy. Yeah, cannot.
I have a question. Yeah, really.
Okay.
May I know, right, if one of my partner is providing in kind, yeah, so it doesn't involve any financial. So is it possible that I use the IGV template instead?
Can I know what you mean by there's no financial?
Yeah, there is no like any financial sponsorship. Yeah, but it's more to like providing in kind a platform.
IGV MOA.
Yeah, IGV MOA template.
Have you discussed this with your FL already?
Yeah, actually my FL approved it, so it's okay, is it?
Yeah, if your FL say it's fine, then it should be fine now. Yeah, just
Oh.
I guess they should be able to rewrite some parts and things that are not applicable anymore. So, yeah.
Since it's like in kind, right? So it's letting who sign? Is it Eugene or is it Celine?
I can
I'm
answer.
not too sure. Yeah.
Okay. So basically for everyone, all your MOAs, right? Actually you don't need MCVP to sign. Yeah, but the huge but is you need to let me go through. So I need to see the MOA before you send to partner. You get? Yeah. So your FL might send to Celine, but then for you, you definitely need to send to me after you like align with your FL, all those stuff like that before sending to partners.
Okay, yeah, understand. So if like this means that only the partner, the director of the project, and so only me, right, will be signing.
Yeah, it can be like that.
Okay, understand.
So you can decide on yourself like which stakeholder is relevant to be put inside like that.
Understand.
So sometimes might even involve the LCEP IGV also.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But just to add on, I would recommend that the VPFL also sign the MOA. Since there's a part where the FL will be receiving the money, so they are also part of a big stakeholder. So yeah, don't forget FL. So now I'll answer Peanut's question. Peanut. I'm sorry. How to pronounce your name? Would it be possible for partner to go ghosting mode after MOA is signed? I think the phrasing is a bit weird. It's like positive like that. So I guess so. Depends on the partner. But if they do go ghosting mode, then you have to follow up. As much as you can. Try your best to get them on board again. Try your best to talk to them or communicate what actually happened. But let's say we already agreed that they're gonna pay this amount, but they don't want to pay. They never give you any replies. Then you should first thing you should do is consult MCVPs. Then they'll tell you what to do next. So yeah, I would say that's the best step that you can take. Then next for Ani, what if partner doesn't want to sign MOA and they refuse to sign anything with us but willing to be partners? I think you should figure out the reason why they don't want to sign an MOA. Is it because they don't want to be restricted by an MOA? So if they don't want to be restricted, does that mean that they might not want to keep their promise? So yeah, you should be able to figure out why first. And if they, after figuring out the why, then you can think of action steps. If they say like, oh, we don't want it because it's too restrictive, and then you think that, having this is so useless when you guys are just a university club, then explain to them that you're not just a university club, and explain the impact that you want to bring and their role in this partnership and how they are going to contribute to the vision that we have. So, try to get them on board, that convince them with your pretty mouth and things like that. But yeah, hope that answers your question. Jimmy, if you want to add on anything, then you can just add on now.
I think you can finish answering first.
Okay. Peanut. Is it possible to do MOA after realization or realign cost breakdown with partner? Realign cost breakdown with partner after realization. So I'm assuming this means that they don't want to pay first. They want to see their actual results first, then only decide whether they can pay this amount or not. Is it?
Yeah, actually true.
Okay. This is a bit complicated. I think the best way forward, or like the best case that could happen, is you convince them, or you convince them. But usually when we sign an agreement, like it doesn't make sense because we're signing an agreement to agree that they're gonna pay us this. But if everything is finished already and we give them the deliverable, and then they suddenly say like, "Oh, actually, I don't think your project was worth it. We're just gonna pay you 200 ringgit." Like it's not, we're not a shop where we just give them products, So yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing that. So yeah, sign an MOA before, since that establishes your relationship with the partner already. Hope that answers the question.
Understood. Thank you.
All right. By the way, how do I pronounce your name?
You pronounce it right. It's peanut. The nut.
Peanut. Okay. Thank you. My team, how do we change the partner details part if the partner is not from any organization? So is it like an independent person without running a company?
Yeah, you're right.
Wow, I wonder how you find this person. Then I suppose if they're not from an establishment, then you can just write their name, their IC number, just follow the format. But if they don't have an organization, like no jargon, those things you can just leave it out. But I'm just a bit curious, like, how did that happen? If you can share.
No lah. Actually, it's not for FP lah, but it's the speaker MOA. Not involving any financial partnership as well. Yeah.
Okay. I think I know why you asked me this question. But yes, for that we have a different template. I think for I don't remember what's the name of the template, but yeah, for that we have a different format of writing things. So the ones that I downscale here is strictly only for FPMOA. So yes.
Yeah, I think my end can add on. So for everyone, if you want to find the template, you can refer here. So it's at the frequently accessed link in the BD master sheet, which this sheet, I hope it's your best friend. Then it's also inside here already. So you can go through all the templates, like even including the EWA speaker one that my team mentioned like that. So you can just refer on here. Then, okay. I think this one, the ghosting mode, right? So normally if sign MOA already, then because it's the organization's reputation also. So if you ask it's possible or not, it's definitely possible. But I mean, it's their reputation that they sign MOA already. So normally wouldn't have too big of an issue on this. But then it is very, very possible that the cash income late. So if let's say the cash income late but still come in the end, but then your partner feel unresponsive, you might feel like they are ghosting you. But then especially for MNCs, it is very possible that their cash in procedure take longer time. For example, for national side, when we are talking to PNG, they actually take half a year to actually cash into us. Yeah, so in between, they got a bit unresponsive, but didn't actually ghost us like that. Then I think for third question, so if partner doesn't want to sign a MOA but willing to be partner, I think for this part is I agree on finding out the reasons and then need to explain to them this is part of the procedure like that, and then we actually have the MOA to actually protect both sides. Like it's not only Isaac's side but also protect partner side also lah. But you can if you don't want to say the protecting, then can let them know it's part of the process for us to work on things. Yeah. Then for some organizations or certain condition, if let's say didn't go with MOA, it is possible that we go with LOA, so letter of agreement. That one wouldn't be downscaled here, but actually the concept is similar to MOA, just that this is the shorter, more simplified version. However, the legal power isn't as strong as MOA. Yeah, and then it is if in the end you still want to go with this partner without signing MOA, strongly not recommend. Even for LOA, also don't recommend. Only recommend going back with MOA. But if you do go with LOA or you didn't sign with this partner, then you need to be very clear on the consequences. Because, for example, they say give us 5K, but then to be partner with us, but then they didn't sign MOA, so they can just straight away run away. There's no black and white, and then they can say that, oh, they changed their mind, all those stuff. So for this MOA stuff, I think it's also the bottom line that you guys need to guard yourself is that are you able to bear the risk of not signing a MOA or not? Because like people can pull out themselves. For now, at least my experience, didn't experience any organization didn't sign MOA. I mean, for financial but then did happen before is for learning partner non-financial. Then we didn't sign any MOA with them and then they just ghost us, and then did affect the operation of that. Then for Peanut's question, what's the context again? Like reason behind?
Meaning that mostly because of the time constraint, which having a very short time to actually proceed to MOA. So, but the partner willing to actually partner with us. So, like discussing back the cost breakdown after the realization. Which also lead on the MOA after realization.
Understood. Yeah. If let's say they are going to be involved in if they are not going to be involved, then it's still fine. But if they are going to be involved, means you do the thing first, then you sign the MOA. Then again, I think it's like what mentioned just now in terms of the one to sign MOA is you will be taking quite a huge risk. I mean, if you want to go with it due to time constraints, then I think the part that I need to be responsible to tell you guys is be aware of the potential consequences. Like again, like people might suddenly change the change the pricing, or they can say anything because didn't sign, but then you already do the things already like that. Okay, I pass back to Raylene, or anyone got any more questions? Raylene, you got anything to add on?
From my side, don't have. Yeah, but if you got any questions, you can always come ask me in Telegram also.
Thank you, Raylene.
Okay, bye-bye.
The fuck? Okay. Yeah, so hope you guys enjoy Raylene's ID. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to write down also. Like then we also go through afterwards, or just straight away ask in the group, or like ask any of us. You guys have our telegrams. Yeah, so moving on, we'll go into Isaac business model. Okay, so I hope just now you didn't overburn your brain. So we'll have a conversation space, right? So just now you have your speed dating group, so we'll break you guys into those groups again. So I think got 4 groups. Is it? Yeah. So here's a conversation for you guys to discuss with each other, right? So how would you describe Isaac's business model to partners? Means if your partner asks you how does Isaac function, or what is Isaac's business model, so what would you answer them? So I hope you guys know what does a business model mean, but if you don't know, then it means the company's core strategy for profit. Okay, this is the official Google answer, but what it means is how do you even earn money, like how companies make money. So for us, we are a non-profit organization, right? So what it actually means is, or what the partner is trying to ask is, how do you sustain or survive as a non-profit organization? And then where do you get your money from? And then where do you spend the money you get from also? So we'll break you guys into the breakout rooms again, and then you guys can do the discussion. Okay, let me move some people also. Okay, I'll open the rooms. Give you guys 10 minutes. Wait, I realize we have a group of people, no rooms yet. Let me reopen the room. Okay, sorry for the logistics. Let me rearrange the breakout rooms again. Okay, I think this time we'll break everyone into different rooms, because I need to recreate. Okay, done. So you have different friends this time. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, so let's have one of you guys to share. I'll wait for.
Xu Qing.
Wow.
Xu Qing from Group 4.
Wait, Sunisa, why you like this? Later lah, later. Don't
Go,
go
go,
first
go,
half
go.
of group 1 first. Haven't prepared. Serious Okay. I go first Okay, I go lah. So based on our very interesting discussion, okay, so the first thing is like we need to like tell us who we are lah. So we need to like introduce ourselves first, and then like we will tell them like what we are focusing now. So we like the leadership skills. I mean, I think you guys all know this already. And then so we need to inform them what we are doing right now. So what is our project? So the next thing is like why we need money. So we need to tell them like we need to maintain the sustainability of our local organization. So in order so that we can consistently like promote like organize these kind of activities for the youth. So in order to build the leadership right there. Okay, and also the next thing is like we need to explain like where can we get the money. So the first thing is like the Malaysia Youth Volunteer Fee, and also like external stakeholders like that. And the next thing like where we spend the money, because like they will not like giving us the money, Jinjai giving us the money. So we need to like talk about like where we spend it. Yeah, I think that's all for me. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Xu Cheng. Okay, so so the feedback for this one I think is okay, nice fancy sentences here, but then I think can keep it shorter, especially if a partner ask you the following, like the second row of questions, right? Then you can just be very direct to tell them on a few things. So depending on the type of person you meet lah. So if you are meeting someone that is more direct and or don't have much time, then actually when you are saying the statement above, then they'll think that you are running around the bush, but it doesn't mean that this thing is wrong. So again, depends on the kind of profile that you're meeting to. And if you are just describing how you sustain, not people didn't directly ask you where your money come from, then I think answering this one is still fine. But I think overall it can be more direct. And then also, I think this part is, I think you guys mentioned here, but then I think like group 3, okay, you got mentioned a crowd FP. So just now I saw you guys didn't mention FP. So I think here you can also mention, because technically you are selling towards a potential FP, and then means since you're selling means that you are getting money from this person. So you can directly let them know this is how you sustain also. Yeah, and I think the just nitpicking here. So instead of using the language of you need financial support, I think you guys can change it towards you find financial support by finding, okay, approaching value aligned partners. Yeah, because sounds a bit needy, but this is more on very detailed nitpicking. Okay, so I also went through group 2 and group 3. I didn't watch too much on group 1. I think here, yeah. So good thing that you know that you are spending it on NAF, R&R, but be very clear in terms of how are you describing NAF and R&R towards your partners. So use the external friendly language, the simple words that people would understand. When you say NAF, then people don't understand, then you need to spend another more time to actually explain it further. What does it even mean? Yeah. So I think group 2, they got mentioned in terms of like, I think they got copy paste one of the message I put down in previous R&D. So yeah, I think it's good to just use that in terms of when you're mentioning where you're spending from. And then also, wow, Annie are you from group 2? You're trying to sell yourself, but okay, never mind. Yeah. Okay, then I think the few things for you guys to take note is you can mention crowdfunding, you can mention grants, delegate fee, all those stuff. So later I'll explain a little bit more about delegate fee. Then for my style, normally I just directly mention only FP. So it's we work with corporates. So it's not wrong to mention the others. Just for my approach, normally is when people ask, then I would mention. But it's not because I want to hide anything, but it's just more on when communicating, I want to be more faster. And if you communicate crowdfunding and also grants, then one thing you do need to keep in mind is, okay, so since you can get money from crowdfunding and grants, right? Why should you ask money from me as a corporate also? Maybe anyone can answer?
Okay, you go first. Sorry.
Yeah. No, Mahesh, you go first.
No, it's okay. You can go first.
Okay. I think can I be like just honest to them, or do I have to sound something different? Okay, I just give my honest answer. So what I will say is crowdfunding is not very sustainable in general, and also we don't do crowdfunding much due to sometimes it might affect our branding, and for grants and government donations or grants like that, it takes a lot of processing time to get those grants, and not all the time we are guaranteed those grants. That's why we try to keep our sales more towards the financial partnership, and then also get the partners involved in our events to make it more sustainable. That's what I would say.
Okay, thank you, Annie. Mahesh, you want to try?
I couldn't have said it better than her, honestly. I think what she said is true. And yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say. Seriously.
Okay.
Sorry.
It's fine. Okay, thanks, Mahesh. So for Annie's answer, yeah, you can be honest, and then I think you explain the explanation makes sense also. So I think just maybe one part I will nitpick is when crowdfunding hurts branding, then I think this might be the tricky part that I'm not sure whether you should mention, because now you mentioned, okay, it hurt brandings, then it might raise another question is, okay, why does it hurt branding, all those stuff? But I think, okay, coming back, for me, if people ask why I got crowdfunding grants, still want to find corporates, the answer is very simple, because not enough money. Okay, but of course we wouldn't say not enough money, but we are finding multiple revenue streams to actually sustain ourselves. And then, but the main one that we are focusing on is collaborating with corporates. Yeah. So then you can add on in terms of the crowdfunding thing that you mentioned. How do you think it's not sustainable? Because you don't know whether people would donate to you or not. That's one thing. And then also, I think the grants have very long process time, makes a lot of sense also. So you do need a short-term cash flow also. So you can add on the explanation and information here. Yeah, good job on that. Okay, so let's go towards the next part, right? So maybe you guys can popcorn style in the chat. So actually I want to ask you guys, right, do you yourself know how much your product actually costs? If you know the amount, you can directly type in the chat also. Okay. Sunisa mentioned the raise fund for beneficiary. Yes. So majority of the fund is also raised for beneficiary, not for us. Yeah, that's a logical explanation also. Yeah, but coming back this question. And also next question. Okay, no, let's stay on this question. So no one knows. Okay, if you don't know, you can type you don't know. But no one knows how much your product cost, is it? 1K. So what do you mean by 1K? 1K for the whole realization, is it? $1K for one project. Okay, 5K for the whole COP. So when I say how much it costs, it's not what the amount you share to partner, it's how much it actually costs. Because I'm not sure Sunisa's answer is the sales proposal. No? And I'm not asking from a partner perspective. It's internal. Okay. Others? No clue. Okay. Around 7K, about 3K. Okay. Okay, thanks for everyone's answer. Yeah, then do you know where we spend our money at? I think, okay, you guys answered here already. Yeah, so let's go towards the next slide. Okay, yeah, so for you to know, we actually spend Ringgit Malaysia 255.82 for every youth experience we create. So this is just for MYV virtual. I'm not including EVA amount and MYV hybrid. That's another amount. So you can check with your respective FL, but today I'll focus on MYV virtual. So definitely the concept is the same, but I'm only pointing out the MYV virtual or LVV amount for everyone. So what do I mean by every youth experience we create? Means that if today your project realization has four MYVs, means you're actually spending around 1,000 ringgit like that. So if your project has more people, then you're actually spending more like that. And this is the average cost like that. So like Xu mentioned, 1K for one project. If let's say you only have 4 people in your project, then that's true. But then if you have more people, then it's higher amount. Okay. So here's the cost per volunteer breakdown for the MYV virtual that I actually got from Celine. So you guys can actually go through the amount yourself. Of course, this is just for you to understand that your product actually spend money and cost money, and where do we actually spend the money on. But again, when you're explaining to partner, you don't need to actually show this. And again, this is more on internal side of things. Just refer back in terms of the things that normally you would speak in the more external friendly language. Yeah, so meaning, right, if you have one MYV virtual, you're actually spending 250 ringgit around there. Then 10 is 2,500. And if it's 100, which means I don't the whole AM, actually whole AM is a lot more than that. Means it's 25,000. Oh, Lermi is in my slides. Okay, now mine. Yeah, so and that is actually why our MYV program fee is actually charged in this pricing. So you can see here there's a trend that is 40-60% like that, like 40% 100 ringgit and then 150 ringgit, the 60% here. Then it's because that we actually cost 250 ringgit. So actually we charge this pricing. So OP is for NCR. So if you are not that familiar for NCR, it's fine. But here is to demonstrate the number for you guys to see. And for hybrid mode, we actually count the amount already, that the more average amount is actually 500 per person. So meaning that if you're running hybrid and physical operations, you do need to secure more sales also. Because one person, you're spending 500. I mean, the youth fee got 200, but then you still need another 300 to cover. And it's not even including accommodation, all those different costs like that. Yeah, so from here, you can actually see the amount. So I think 2 months ago, got someone from commission asked why we already charging youth money, we still need to charge partner money. It's because of this, because every time we charge 250, right? Actually, we are actually running on deficit like that. And then we are only charging 100 from youth. And then, yeah, and then we still have 150 blank there like that. Yeah, so yeah, I think this is the thing I mentioned just now. So for every youth experience we create, 100 ringgit and 150 ringgit like that for NCR partners. And then here is even more of the different kind of breakdowns. You don't need to know too detail on this, just briefly for you guys to go through because you're a sales team. Yeah, but here's the burning questions, right? So how about IGV P-Box project? I mean, same applies to EWA and also others, but mainly here I'll highlight on IGV P-Box project. So IGV doesn't actually have OP to cover the 150, right? Yeah, but that's precisely why we are here, like why we as the BD team exist, because we are here to actually secure the sales. so that we can actually make the project sustain and even upskill and have more impact. So this part is my BD aspiration when I started my term. What is my ambition, like what I foresee. So BD strive to bridge more value-aligned businesses with our youth and local communities. So I think I mentioned this a lot, right? Is that we don't simply find partners, like you don't find it from the rubbish bin. You find people that are value-aligned with you like that, and they really do value your local communities also through impactful financial partnerships for SDG projects and youth empowerment initiatives. And why is it specifically financial partnerships? It's because we secure all these sales from partners to actually empower more youth to experience leadership. Like that, it's because that we secure all these financial partnerships that actually the project itself can actually sustain itself. Like no matter how we spend, okay, we can sustain because one person 250, right? Okay, we can cover the other 150 side. And we have always been covering your predecessors also, just that I think most of us aren't that aware. And that's why in this commission call, I want to raise it up, raise the awareness for everyone to know. Like if you really don't secure the sales, then yeah, like there's a gap there. And then at the same time, this is just on the average cost, right? So if your LCs are running more different initiatives, the amount might be higher also. So that's something that you guys need to keep in mind very clearly. Yeah. So there's this quote, right, that from Walt Disney that I really like a lot. So he says, we don't make movies to make money. We make money to make more movies. Now for Isaac, we are a non-profit organization, not for-profit. We don't make money for sake of making money. But then I think the similar concept is the same, is that every time when people ask me, right, why do we even need funds? It's because, yes, we are finding funds from you to actually empower more youth to experience leadership. And like, I would say, like sometimes I also a bit tired to explain, but I still need to explain because I know this is a very important thing, that the misconception that I believe my role that I need to clarify for people to know. Yeah. So and again, like I mentioned just now, right, is without BD support, every youth experience we deliver will create like 150 ringgit of deficit. Oh, thanks, Bunga. I didn't realize I have so short time left. Yeah, meaning, right, you can run your project without sales, honestly speaking. You can run, but then after you run for this peak, right, you cannot run the next peak. Yeah, meaning the more youth experience that your OGV, IGV run, right, the more deficit you get, the more money you lose. And then because on our side, the sales team, we actually didn't secure the sales. Now, I know it may sound pressuring, but I'm not trying to pressuring everyone, but really to demonstrate, not demonstrate, to explain the reality on what is happening and why our role is so significant. Yeah, and it's because that, how to say, is today, if we didn't secure the sales to actually cover even the basic costs, right, then our future generations won't be able to create more leadership experiences. So that's why having a sustainable business model is necessary to create all these leadership experiences. And going back towards the original question, right? Now I'm talking a lot on the pricing thing, but it's also going back towards the business model. Like when partner asks, how do we sustain or survive as a non-profit organization? So we actually, like if you have talked to your FL before, they like to say diversify revenue stream. And that's how our business model works. So for now, actually the business model that we are using on is we actually get the 40% from our youth, from the B2C customers, but most of it, the 60%, we're actually getting from the corporate, the sponsors, the financial partnership, the collaboration, all those stuff like that. So honestly speaking, the most ideal situation is that a partner can actually cover all the costs, including the youth costs here. That is the most ideal situation, that partner can cover the whole 250 per person. But it's just that for current situation, we don't think it's as realistic. So that's why we make it, okay, 40% and 60%, that we still charge youth this fee. And youth is not getting this for nothing, honestly speaking. Your youth, your OGV team and IGV team, they are doing a very good job to actually deliver all these experiences, the quality leadership development experiences. And that's why, again, we have the business model that we work on different things, right? Not only having youth as a customer, but also have organizations that we do different initiatives, employee engagement workshops, the digital campaigns, yeah, so that we can have the revenue stream to actually cover the cost structure. And we utilize the resources we have, the partners we have, and then we also do our channels, the marketing well. Yeah, we have the value proposition being met out. We are very clear on who are our customer segments Yeah, so you don't need to show this whole thing towards your partner. It's too complicated already. Yeah, but I think maybe I would, if I were to make it more simple, right? Actually, if you notice, the first question and the second question is actually the same, just that the second question is more sharp and specific lah. Yeah, so like how do we even sustain, right? For my approach, again, the answers just now is not wrong, just that for me, I will focus more to highlight on the partner side of things because I'm talking to partner. So we collaborate with corporates to co-create this initiative. So depending on what I'm selling to this partner, and then directly tell them, yeah, we are bridging you and the youth to create the impact together. And that's how we actually be able to sustain. Like we are not only serving youth, but we serve corporates so that in the end, both of us can actually serve youth together. Yeah, and where do we find the money from? So for some of you guys, maybe you go more on sponsorship, right? But besides the sponsorship, you also have the collaboration, which is the FP, like for example, the employee engagement, but you also have the other initiatives like maybe your branding, deliverables, all those stuff. And in terms of where you spend it, then it's actually the same thing that I mentioned in last commission call. And I think 1 month ago commission call, like the what does NAF consist, all those things, not only NAF, but these are like the whole breakdowns in terms of where you yourself even spend the money. Actually, right, if you talk to your IGV more and you talk to your FL more, or you talk to your EWA more, the more you talk to them, the more you know where they spend their money on. And you don't even need to rely on the schema jawaban I have here. Like whatever I write here, right, is actually basically what you guys are doing all the days. And these are the things that, I mean, okay, some of it local level, okay, these are the things that you can see more direct, but sometimes we might miss out a Zoom, HubSpot website. So we are actually paying on this also, just that some of you guys may not be aware. And I think, yeah, human resource, your recruiting volunteer also need effort. And full-time employees, me, your MC, yeah. Then the HQ, the office rental, right now I'm in office. We also have legal and finance team. And training fees, don't underestimate this thing, because if we don't do commission call, we don't do conference, we don't do summits, then I believe everyone will be very lost also, right? So we also need to train everyone so that you can deliver the quality leadership experience to your partners also, and definitely your standards delivery, your partnership servicing, also things need money also. So I think this is overall, just want to let you guys know in terms of, okay, how is the reality of our own Isaac business model? Like how do we even sustain? And yeah, like how much are we actually contributing on? Yeah, so that's all for this R&D. Any questions?
I have a question. Actually, how are you explaining about the NAF? Or you will like break it down based on like the HR, those training fee instead?
I never say NAF these 3 words because I know I need to explain further a lot. But how to say is I just straight away explain whatever I write here, because whatever I write here, right, it's actually NAF things. So if today suddenly partners saw some of our internal documents, which okay shouldn't be a legal thing, but they saw some of our internal documents and then they saw NAF, then I will just explain the same thing that I explained to them in my first touch point, like that, which is all these things. Like if you go and talk to your FL more and then ask them what does NAF consist, then they will tell you the same thing, which is all of these things.
Okay, thank you.
But different LC share leads under wait. Okay, I mean if you want to mention NF, you can lah. For me, I never mention it, and then just that I prefer to keep my communication very clean and clear. Okay, anyways, out of topic. Different LC share leads. Okay, Bunga, I think that one I need to talk to you in private because this can be a lot of different scenarios. So I need to understand further on what kind of scenario is that. I don't get your question. No lah, it's just Telegram texting. Okay, any more questions on this? So everyone clear on this? No questions? Yeah, I'm surprised. I was waiting for more questions.
I have a question.
Oh, okay, come.
Okay, so for the human resources part, right? So if let's say we mention all these things and then the partner just say, but you guys are an NGO, you guys are doing volunteering. So like why do the HR need expenses as well?
the first very immediate response, okay, maybe it's because I'm the person getting the amount. Okay, I'll let them know we do have full-time employees. We do have a full-time national team to actually like manage all these things every month like that, or even every day actually. So we are actually spending real HR, like paying real people like that. That's the first thing. And then yeah, even though most of us are volunteers, but we are spending on that. And then second thing is also in a way this first thing is for your understanding, right? Actually, what everything that you guys do and your IGV, OGV, even your PMFL do, right? Actually worth to get paid money on. Just that you yourself volunteering your money or hours towards the organization. Yeah. But then in terms of explaining to partners, it's also to let them know, actually, we do need to spend all these human resource in terms of the effort and energy for coordination and setting up all those stuff to actually run the whole event like that. But honestly speaking, if some partners, they don't see the value, they may not don't see the value, like some are stingy like this. Then for this, okay, I don't have a magic bullet for this also, honestly speaking. How do you explain our Isaac model? Are you explaining? Sunis, okay. Basically, the whole thing just now I'm telling you guys is the business model. So this is the complete version. And then I'm facilitating you guys throughout the whole thing. But I think maybe my facilitation failed a bit. But then the simple way to explain a business model, Isaac model, business model is this one. But okay, are you asking Isaac model or business model? I don't know what is
Isaac model.
So
like for example, like it's like we have like Isaac International, and then under Isaac International we have blah blah blah, that kind of thing. Do you explain that to them? Or like no need?
Okay, that is organizational structure. So if you say Isaac model, I don't get you. Yeah, I mean, you can explain that we work internationally. So we do have Isaac International, we do have regional office. Okay, I mean, for me, I remember when I'm a member come in, my senior got explained to me, I'm not sure you got or not, but yeah, Isaac International regional office, and then national team, and then local committee like that. I mean, member committee is national team like that. So you can share with them some organizations that are interested to know. But I think one thing to keep in mind is you can check with the partner why they want to know the organizational structure. Maybe they're asking something else. If it's just purely curious, then you just explain. But if they wanted to ask something else, then you know what they're trying to ask, then you can answer.
Okay.
Yeah, you can explain about AI. Okay, anyone else? Any other things? Okay, I think I'll go towards the next one. Okay, so 27, hopefully on time. Yeah, so we have a new email signature already. Yeah, with the new partner logo. So everyone, you can, I also sent you guys email this morning, so you can check your emails also. So please update your email signature to the latest version. And then you can also refer to like how to update your email signature here. The picture here for Lermin one is not the most updated one. I just lazy to change. But then the last one here, where is it? This one is the most updated one from my side. We should also have my email on. So remember to send it to your members to actually update the latest one also, like how to update the title, all those stuff. You can refer to this book. It was downscaled previously already also under the LinkedIn L&D. And then if you wish to find the GIF file, then it's under here also. Yeah. Then also to introduce you guys towards the national partners. So these are the national partners that we are talking to. So some of them we don't put in the logo here. I mean the membership signature, email signature here, but then we are also talking to them, just that we didn't put. Yeah, so for you guys to know, these are the national partners that we have. So to prevent you for accidentally violating ER principles, then please do not contact all these partners. And if you are interested to partner with them, then it's a good news because we are already partnering with them or talking to them. So you can directly reach out to national team to know, okay, who do you want to reach out to, especially like, let's say you want to find them to be a learning partner, all those stuff. And if you see duplicate leads, please report it to me or put in the ER database, all those stuff. And do check on other leads, whether they are duplicated leads or not, or else you might accidentally violate ER principles also. Yeah. And then next one, also we need your input. Yeah, so for next commission meeting, plan to do something related to membership experience, but need to understand what is everyone's pain first. Okay, so that's why Natalie prepared the QR code here already that you can fill in, or you can click this link and also send this towards your directors and members also, to let them fill in also, so that we can understand your experience better. I know you also got engagement survey, but this one is more customized towards BD. Okay. Yeah. So sorry that you had to fill in 2 forms. Yeah, really sorry on that. But really want to know how we can deliver R&D that fits you guys. Okay. Yeah. So need some help to fill in. And here's commission shirt. So today Mahesh also came to office to actually take his shirt already. He also bought already. He bought both colors here. So you guys can also buy also lah, and then you can get the shirt soon. Okay. So here's the link to buy also. And again, Food Heroes, today is the last day, the deadline. So 25th May. Yeah, today is the deadline lah. So remember to register. We are like finding people, and then it can give you more different exposure, and it's very low commitment only. Yeah. And here's preparation audit in case you need the reference. So that's all for today commission meeting. So you can also update your call to action here, including the update membership email signature also. Yeah, update here, and then also give your feedback lah. I'll play a music.